Hi and welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing cream of lettuce soup, but first we need to pick the lettuces from the garden that we've been growing. So Nicola's going to be picking the lettuces out. As you can see, they're quite big. We're going to be pulling these ones out. Is this one you're going for?
I'm going to go for this one.
I'll go for that one. Okay, first one lettuce out. There's a big clump of mud on that one. Oh, that went everywhere, didn't it? Which one are you going for next?
This one.
Going for that one?
Yeah.
So these are something that we've been growing, as some of you have seen before. But we're just going to take these out of the garden, take them back to the cafe, and we're going to rustle up a nice simple soup to make. I'll go through the ingredients tomorrow. I mean, look at that. Let's come back out a bit so we can see a better picture. Oh, it's not going very good, that one. So there we have it. Nicola's got the lettuce in her hand now. Big cheesy grin. It's beautiful, that one. Is it nice and green? Gonna get
They're a bit different compared to them ones.
So we'll just quickly show you a quick update on the other lettuces. These ones have grown a little bit different to the other ones that we've got. These were obviously in the tray. You can see a couple there. It's not very big. But let's just show you the frizzy ones. So there we have it. There's the frizzy. They're growing nicely.
But they're cos.
These ones here are all cos.
But they've grown a bit different to them ones.
Yeah, they've more. These ones, let's just try and show you. So these ones have opened up a little bit better. Obviously cos has got big long bottoms. We tend to cut them in half and then use both of them. But as you can see, everyone, they're quite big at the moment. So these should be ready for cropping soon, but we'll just wait and see. But these are all the ones that obviously we netted, as you can remember. And these ones there,
got a lot of weeds in, but I can't weed it until...
Yeah, it's ready for weeding. But look at that there. That's the lettuce that we've got growing. That looks a little bit different, that one. We just got random lettuces and just planted them into the garden. So let's get these lettuces back.
And have you told them that we're going to make some stock with carrots?
No, you tell them.
No, you tell them.
Okay, so obviously Nicola's been growing a few carrots. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the carrots up, only little ones.
Oh.
And we're going to be using, these were like barrel carrots. We're going to cut them up and we're going to use them for the stock. We're basically going to be making like a bechamel sauce. We're going to be adding the lettuce, but we need a bit of vegetable stock. So we're going to use the carrots, the stalks, the stems, pretty much everything to make the stock. So just pulling them all up.
Would you like to pull one up?
No, you pull one up. You're the chief carrot puller upper. So let's have a look what you've got in your hands now, mate. So these are like a barrel looking carrots. Hard to get the bin in if you can help it. So yeah, that's what we're going to use. We've grown these obviously from seeds, as obviously you're aware, and they've come out lovely, them, aren't they? Big round carrots. They are supposed to grow round, and then some of them are really round.
They smell like carrots.
But that's what we're going to be using. So we'll get all this stuff back to the cafe, and then we'll crack on and get this soup made. So let's run through the ingredients and what equipment we're using. We're using a Blow Pump induction hob again. We're going to be using a little bit of garlic salt, some no veg bouillon, the little pods they are, but we're only going to be using one because we're going to be making his own stock. Salt and pepper, butter, plain flour. You can replace the plain flour with gluten-free flour if you want to make this dish gluten-free. There's no difference in taste because I've already tested it out. Also, we've got this homegrown lettuce that we picked out the garden. We've got some carrots that we picked out the garden. Yes, they don't look the best at the minute, but we're only going to be using for stock. We've also got some other carrots that I've just picked up yesterday, just to add a bit of extra flavour to it. and we've got some red onion. The stock's going to take about 20 minutes to boil up. Once the stock's done, then we'll be making a bechamel sauce. The bechamel sauce is similar to what it's exactly the same as what you'd be making in a lasagna. It's just that we're going to add a bit more flavour to it. We're going to add some lettuce to it. But let's get cracking and let's get this made. Well, the first things that we're going to do is we're going to get a chopping board. Now we're going to put a cloth underneath the chopping board. When you're chopping things on a chopping board, it will slide about. It'll go like that every time that you try cutting. So let's just show you what I mean. So you're cutting away like this and it's moving about. As soon as we put a cloth, a wet kitchen cloth underneath, it will stop it from sliding about. As you can see, the table that's the table that's shaking, not the cloth. There we go. So let's get everything prepped up. Now the carrots, we're just going to chop the carrots up like so. Let's see what we can get. So we're just literally going to be chopping these ones up nice and coarse, as you can see. They're going to go straight into the pan. They don't have to be perfectly cut up because we're only going to be boiling them up. I've left the greens on and everything else. Also, the homegrown carrots that we've got, again, these ones are going to get chopped up. Let's see where we can get that a bit lower down. There we go, it's a bit better for you. So again, we're just going to chop them all up like so. These have all been washed off, again, all mixed up into the pot. Into the pot it goes, as you can see now. Onion. Now we need some red onion for the kitchen. So what we're going to do is, we're going to be using these end bits and the root, and we're also going to be using the first layer of the skin just to add a bit of flavour. Now these you don't even have to chop up, you can just literally pick them up, put them in. I'll show you what it looks like in about 2 seconds. Now just bear in mind that we are a working kitchen, so sometimes you might hear the bell going, sometimes you might hear the phone ringing, or that might be needed for an emergency. So I am on call, but I'm just going to try and get this done as quick as I can. Again, onion skin into the pan. Again, in. So we're using all this up. So if you're going to have a salad or whatever, you need to, you want to have a go at this. Save the onions, wrap them up in cling film, or put them in an airtight tub, and then you could use them for your salad. That's already going in, like so. Lettuce. As you can see, some of this lettuce isn't the best. Well, you can tell. It don't matter because we're going to be using that into the stock. Really, with these, I want to be trying using the middle bits. So I'm going to take all that off, like that. As you can see now, a little bit better. The root. So we're going to be using pretty much all the centre. Centre for the soup, the rest for the stock. So as you can see, this has got in it the lettuce stock, the carrots, everything else. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper into it now. And we're going to add some garlic salt. This garlic salt's absolutely gorgeous. So let's get some of that in there. You put as much as you want, and if you like garlic, put some more in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly start frying this off now, just so it starts adding a bit of extra flavour, a bit of colour. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to it, like so. Let's get the induction on. Let's put it onto function fry. And I can get it on. Oh, we turned on, aren't we? Seems to have got a bit of technical hitch. Oh, there we go, we're on. So we're on function fry. That's cooking away. Any chance you can get me a jug of water, Jake, please? That's already prepped. So now we're going to get these extra lettuces we can always use for our salads for the kitchen. Obviously, you know, we've been growing these and they come out lovely. It's all done. So that's the lettuce. That's the rubbish out the way. Just got a jug of water. That's your onions if you want them, pal. When using lettuce gets very dirty. You must, really important, give it 2 washes. I tend to use one wash that's semi-lukewarm and then the other one that's cold. If it's too hot, obviously it'll make your lettuce limp. Now there's nothing worse than a limp lettuce. Yeah, this is just frying away. So once this starts frying off a little bit, we'll then add the extra veg bouillon and the water. We'll get it boiling then for about 20 minutes. Now this is just full of stock, don't forget. You're not using this into your soup. Once the stock's done, we shall melt some butter. We'll add some milk to it, and then make a roux first. So the roux is basically just butter and flour, and then we'll gradually add some milk to it. And then once the milk's in there, we'll not put the lettuce in until the last minute because we want it to stay nice and green. So if you were making a spinach soup as an example, you wouldn't put the spinach in until the last minute. That's how these chefs manage to get very bright, vibrant colours on the food, because anything that's grown below the ground goes on first. Anything that's grown above the ground goes in at the last minute. That's how it keeps its colour. That's a little bit of information for you. So this is just sweating away like so, and we'll just add a little bit of water. You'll be able to hear it bubbling in it. You can hear it bubbling now already. Now this induction hob has got a setting on it called boil. I don't know whether you can see it. Well, let me just show you. So there's a boil setting on the induction hob. We'll just get that in. That's nice and steady away. Like I say, we are just going to put just one of these pods in. Now you could try it without, but I think it just needs that bit of extra flavouring. When a lot of these commercial kitchens are making veg bouillons and beef stock, they're boiling it for hours. We're trying to get these recipes out pretty quick for you, so we ain't got time to be boiling this for hours and hours at end. Now obviously all the ingredients now is all started boiling down. Just keep adding a bit more stock to it. And I don't know whether you can see, but you can see it started to get a bit of a different colour to it. Let's move that in a bit. So it's no longer watercolour. You can see it's getting a bit more colour to it. That's just boiling again. Also, what we're going to do is we're just going to add these extra bits of leaves that we had. We'll put them into it. like so. Get them in, all done, and then this is just gonna, we're just gonna add this for that little bit more flavour to it, and we're only using one. That's all it is, just one. You could just put one of the vegetable cubes in. Now nori is a good product, we've used this quite a few times. Nori is one of the best products for stock cubes. They do a vegetable one, a beef one, a chicken one. The best one to get is mushroom if you do any mushroom sauces, but it's very difficult to find. If anybody finds any, please send me some over because they're hard to get. I will appreciate it if you can get any. Every time we get them we use them pretty quick. So this is all on now. We can turn this on to boil. Turn that one onto there, click that one onto function. Sometimes it does my head in this machine, but it is what it is, function. We'll just turn it up. So that's going to be on, so that's going to take roughly about 20 minutes to cook. And once that's cooked, we'll get some of the stock done. So time for a quick cup of tea, everyone. While you're getting this done, or a little bite to eat, or make yourself a sandwich to go with your celery soup. And we'll be back with you in a little bit longer, just to finish off the soup. So the stock's boiled away. That's ready to go. We're just going to take that off now. Once that's done, we're going to pass this now. So we're going to put it into a colander. You can see the colour that it's coming out. If you've got a compost heap, you can always put the leftovers in the compost. It's good for your plants, this. And that's it. So that's all done. Drain all the liquid off. So that's what we're left with. So that's all that gone. And we've got the stock there. Let's put that over there. Next thing is we're going to prep the lettuce up. So we're just going to quickly just chop this up now. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit, quite roughly. So I left the stalks on and everything. We're going to put that through the Ninja blender. We found with a Ninja blender, it needs to be reasonably cool when you put it in. If you put too hot a liquid in it, it doesn't like it. They tend to crack sometimes. So we're just going to, this is just chopping the lettuce up like so. That's all done. Get rid of the waste again. So we're going to take this off. That's ready to go. And we're going to get the pan ready for making the bechamel sauce, or the main sauce to make the soup. So let's get the bechamel on. So we're going to put some butter in there. Quite a bit of butter. That's probably like 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to add some flour to it, some plain flour. We're going to put 1 scoop in it. Let's just see how it goes with that, which is probably about enough. Now we're trying to mix this together. Probably not enough there, a little bit more flour. And then once that's done, so this is called a roux. This is going to be your thickening agent for it. Once that's done, then we're just going to start adding the stock to it, a little bit at a time. You can see there's quite a few lumps in it, but don't worry about that because the Ninja will blend them out if need be. We'll just keep mixing it out. If you haven't got a Ninja, then you need to take your time doing it, or otherwise you will get lumps in it. little stick blenders you can pick up now for about 20 quid, 15 quid. I've seen them before for a tenner, believe it or not. They're ideal to make different sauces. If you're following us all the time, I would spend a tenner when you see one. Get a stick blender, because I've got a few different tricks up my sleeve to show you how to make different sauces, but you may need a stick blender to assist you. So you're supposed to gradually add the liquid to it. You're thinking, he's not put no lettuce in yet. No, lettuce isn't going in yet. So this is just adding to it nice and steady, like so. And what we're going to do is, when this starts cooking a little bit, we'll add some milk to it. We'll finish this sauce off with cream, but we won't put the cream in it until it's been in the blender. If you put the cream in it before it goes into the blender, it tends to whip up. Obviously you're whipping cream. So this is what we're trying to do. And just keep stirring it. This takes roughly about 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes depending on how quick you are at stirring. Just don't add the liquid too quick. See, the lumps that were big have dwindled down now, they've gone a bit smaller. So this just keeps going nice and steady. Add a bit more bouillon to it. Now obviously we're using the cost lettuce that we've been growing. If you want, you could use iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is cheap enough. The only thing, if you're going to make lettuce soup, don't use any the radicchio or the Lolo Rosso. So the radicchio is the purple reddish style lettuce. That becomes, it's a little bit too bitter. That one, it's not very nice in soups. And also the Lolo Rosso, which again, that's a frizzy purpley style with green bits, green stalk should we say, on it. That's not very nice as well. That tends to be a bit bitter as well. So they're the ones not to be using. So we just keep adding this to it, nice and steady. That's cooking all right. Jake, is there any chance you can get me a whisk, please? Chef? He's not listening, so I'm going to quickly go and get one. Can I get a whisk, mate, please? So this is our main kitchen. Let's grab one of these. As you can see, I'm quite quick at moving about. Not bad for a 50-year-old man. So the whisk is now going to help it mix up quite quicker. Again, more stock. If you've made too much stock, don't worry about it. Put it in the freezer. Most of our vlogs are all about saving money. So some of the dishes that we do, you can freeze down. I wouldn't advise keeping them in the freezer for too long. And you know, use them all up. So that's all mixing nicely. See, there's a couple of lumps in there, I don't know if you can see, but not too worried about that one for a minute. Now, obviously it's gone darker in colour because we've used red onions. If you use white onions, it'd be a bit whiter. A bit lighter? Whiter? A bit whiter. Again, that's mixing away. If you find that it's not thick enough, I'll show you a little trick just in case it's not, but let's wait and see whether it becomes thick enough. This is pretty much how all the chefs make the sauces. They make the stock, melt the butter, add the flour, add in what they want. So when you're making mushroom soup, you just do it exactly the same way. But we'll be using more milk than anything else. We're adding some milk now, so this will bring it a bit different colour straight away. Starts making it a bit more lighter. Let's just get this keep going all the time. It takes a bit of time process. Once we've got to the stage that the consistency is right, we'll then add the lettuce. That should bring it a bit of colour to it, like so. It's changing colour a bit now. We've probably got enough stock in there now. Now we need to start making it a bit more lighter. As you can see, the lumps are almost gone. That's just by using a whisk. Don't use a metal whisk if you can. You can get whisks that are like plastic. I don't know if you can see this one's semi-plastic. It's not metal. It tends to scrape the bottom of the pan with metal whisks. A lot of chefs don't like you using it, but it's up to you, isn't it, really? But I would definitely try and look at a plastic style whisk. So again, when the soup's getting to its consistency that we want it, and then we'll start adding the lettuce in a minute or so. You can see the odd lump in there. Not too much worried about that. That's nice in colour. And we'll start and add some lettuce to it. The lettuce is going in now. And a bit more lettuce. So if you're making this at home, you'd probably be using, use half your iceberg to make your stock, and then use the other half to make your soup itself. And just keep putting it in. Like so. It's a bit messy. Now it smells like lettuce soup. The lettuce soup is almost identical to watercress soup in taste. I'll just turn it off by mistake. I'm back on again. I do love this little induction oven, induction plate, when I can get my head around it. And that's it. So lettuce is in. Don't have to be cooked for too long. What we'll do is we'll stick this through the blender, and then we'll put it back on the stove, and then let's just see what it's like. So at the moment it's bubbling away nicely. You've got to cook the flour out. The flour takes 10 to 20 minutes to cook the flour out, also otherwise you've got that floury taste to it. But that's all on. We'll get this blended down, and we'll stick it back on the stove, and then we'll finish it off with a little bit of cream, have a quick taste, and hopefully happy days. So we're just blending the soup down, which is almost about ready. Off. Just pop that back on the stove. So that's the consistency that we've got. I'll just pour it into there. It's quite thick still, so we're going to let that down with a little bit of milk, a little bit of water. It's going back on the stove. That's on now. We're going to add a little bit of cream to it. So that's probably half a cup. As you can see, it's nice and creamy now. And we're just going to add a little drop more milk to it, just to make sure it's better. Then we'll get a quick little taste. Let's get the milk. That's back on. So put some more milk into it. Give it a little stir. Let's have a taste to see what it tastes like. So that for me needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, get another taste. There you have it. lettuce soup, straight from the garden to the table. We'll probably offer this with some cold sandwiches if anybody wants cold sandwiches and a hot soup. Nice and easy. Thank you for watching.